What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be discussing cancel culture and whether it is an effective form of social behavior or control where abusers are concerned. Most of y'all probably know someone who has been cancelled on the internet before. Hell, you've probably been cancelled yourself. Now, when I talk about canceling people in this video, I am not referring to the petty online squabbles and occasional harassments that happens when your faves say ignorant or problematic things online, like pet shaming, racist comments, and stuff. I am more so referring to the collective withdrawal of consumption and support from artists, musicians, and sportsmen alike who have been embroiled in controversy that involves abuse of another, be it sexual abuse, physical abuse, or intimate partner abuse. You know the kinds I'm talking about. The ones where serious allegations have been made. Others we have literally seen the evidence. They are in and out of court, but somehow still manage to form part of the fabric of society. They are still revered for their talents and achievements, and they somehow still manage to continue winning awards and getting recognition. Over the years, as the names of men who have evaded justice have piled up, and more stories emerge showing how rare it is for abusers to face any consequences, that anger ballooned and transformed into cancel culture. That anger ballooned and transformed into cancel culture. So, what exactly is cancel culture? Because although it might seem like a recent phenomenon, it has actually been existent in society for centuries now. Ostracism is an ancient Greek practice dating back to over 2000 years ago that saw an individual sent into exile for a decade due to the results of a popular vote. The people exercised their democratic power to ensure that those who threatened the system could be kept in check. Since it was very difficult to prove in a court that a particular individual was a danger to the democracy, the ancient Greek devised a different procedure. Only if a certain number of people believed that the person represented a danger could they be banned. Ostracism allowed the people to banish any prominent citizen from the city for up to 10 years. The citizens anonymously scratched the name of the candidate they wished to see exiled onto a piece of pottery known as an ostracon, the origins of the word ostracism. Although the ostracized individual could not return for 10 years, it seems there was no stigma attached to the punishment when the time had been served, as the person could come back with their status still intact and even serve in public life. I want us to look at specific examples of local celebrities who have found themselves in controversy surrounding abuse allegations in recent years, so we can see the concept of ostracism in practice. The best example being Katlego Maboe. For those of you who don't know him, Katlego Maboe is a television presenter most famously known from the Espresso Morning Show and featuring in many outsurance ads. The presenter was embroiled in a cheating scandal in 2020 in which he was accused of abusing his former partner, Monique Muller. Monique claimed that the presenter had abused her, cheated on her, and infected her with an STI. Katlego has consistently maintained his innocence in respect of the domestic violence charges, but admitted to cheating on Monique. He was nevertheless suspended from his position on the Espresso Morning Show, and adverts for outsurance in which he featured were pulled from broadcasting following the allegations. He also lost his nomination in the Best TV Presenter category of the South African Film and Television Awards in 2021. After a protracted legal process, the courts absolved Katlego against the abuse allegations in January 2022. In August 2022, he made his return to the Espresso Morning Show. I must say, I was quite impressed with the way in which Cadova Productions, the production house which produces the Espresso Morning Show, the way in which they approached this issue. As soon as the abuse allegations became public, they distanced themselves from Katlego and gave him time to go and focus on his personal life. They gave him an opportunity to clear himself of the allegations in court and then welcomed him back when it became clear that he was absolved. Yes, he suffered reputational damage and lost his income, but I can assure you he thought about his life and his actions during the period which he had no income. He even said himself in an interview upon his return to the Espresso Morning Show that during his time in seclusion, he took a long, hard look at himself and realized that he needed to hold himself accountable for the decisions he had made. We encourage women to press charges and take their abusers to court. But look at Katlego Maboe's partner Monique, for instance. She did take action against the alleged abuser, and the court still could not help her. The court still absolved him of allegations of misconduct and domestic violence. That doesn't mean that the abuse did not happen. It's important to remember that people are not only acquitted because they were found innocent. If it cannot be proven beyond a reasonable doubt that you committed the crime you are being accused of, then you are acquitted. A lot of accused persons that end up walking free tend to do so because of a lack of evidence and a lack of witnesses, being as intimate crimes are mostly committed between two people. Which is why it is important for us to step in as the court of public opinion, as employers, as brand sponsorships when stuff like this happens. If they are innocent, they have the right to prove their innocence in court. They have the ability to prove their innocence in court. The courts are so eager to defend abusers anyway. We need to model what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior for young people. Y'all are always wondering how we keep raising generations of violent, abusive men and cheaters. It's because that is what is modeled to them. That's how the people that are in power, the people that they look up to, that's how they act and seem to be getting away with. Believe me, nothing will make you think about your life like losing your income. Your whole world stops and you are forced to reflect. This is particularly important for narcissistic people who are typically abusers in one form or another. Narcissists are incapable of taking accountability for their actions, of reflecting on how their actions cause harm to other people. They are very manipulative and are capable of fooling entire groups of people, which is why their abuse often goes unpunished for years. Most of them have no intention of desire to change to become better people. As long as they can keep getting away with their behavior and as long as there is a constant supply of new victims, narcissists are absolutely happy to keep on treating people in a vile manner while putting up a front in public and claiming to be the victim. It would take losing everything and hitting rock bottom for people like that to stop and reflect. It would take losing the public adoration they need so much to survive for them to stop and reflect. When we do not hit their money, we enable them to keep gathering the resources they need to silence people by weaponizing the court process, for example, such as by suing the victims or by paying off officials, for example. I feel like if men start facing real life consequences for their behavior, or even so much as accusations of bad behavior, they'll be forced to check themselves and each other. We need to create a culture of holding abusers accountable. We need to create a culture of withdrawing public support for people who have been accused of abuse. They should only be allowed to rejoin society if they have reformed, if they have taken steps to become better people, if they have gone for therapy, counseling, holistic remedies, whatever it takes, but they need to have shown us that they have taken steps to become better people before we can publicly support them again.